own play styles to get themselves in this, and they have full control. Loops right now, fully dominant. Impunity have zero space to work with.
Yeah, they are more or less holed up in their base. Anytime somebody goes out, then they are in danger. ABH took a bit of damage from the Lady Frost, from the Princess Frost, as well as the Marco Polo. Nothing he can't heal up away from, as Loops poised to try and pressure on both sides. That's going to be the mid and the bottom. And once they connect the creep waves, they might be able to slowly chip away at the tier 3s.
Look at how they've controlled the map. They've got full control, and they just pushed them out. They've got all the way in the front. Mithy is in the front lines. He's like your scout, your forward scout, seeing where the enemy is at all points. And like the minions are just coming out of the base right now. So again, Loops can continue to push. Impunity, on the other hand, all 5 of them sticking together, holding hands, pushing out, and just trying to clear their own jungle. And Black's so scared he can't even face check that bush.
My cat stepped on my
Impunity right now, very reactive to.
Sira ulo kasi talaga to eh. Loki, wag ka kasi magulo, oy!
If you're reacting, you're always going to be one step slower than your opponent. So Impunity needs to pull out a rabbit from the hat here to try and get a favorable fight going towards them, where they are able to secure the win for that fight in particular. But the Tyrant does go towards the way of Loops, and we might see a high ground attempt with this buff.
Okay, the rabbit that's being pulled out of the hat, is it worth 6k net worth? Because I don't think that's going to help them. That's not enough, right? They need more. They need like multiple rabbits at this point.
We have to close the door.
No, a bigger head.
The cat is
or just
going
a fatter
wild.
rabbit, is that what it is? Alright, but Loops here continuing to just dominate. They've got a 6k net worth lead, pushing it across. Xiaolin is going to recall back to safety. These Drakes are starting to push.
Okay, it's looking like
and again, it's just they've slowed it down. Loops have nothing to do, like they don't need to force the issue. They have plenty of time. They have full control. They just find that pick off. Impunity get out of position with one guy. They turn it into a 5 vs 4. Loops can then just end the game.
That's exactly what Loops is trying to do right now. They know that they're stronger at this point, so they want a strength test. They want to take it away from Impunity. They don't want to give them more time to recover, and Am trying to end this game right here and now. Bottom lane got pushed out a little bit, so Elaine's there to fix it. But once the next dragon arrives, that should be the last tier 3 tower standing. Jing also trying to steal the blue jungle buff. It has not spawned, so he has to play without it for a little bit. But once those dragons reach, that's where your tier 3s. Oh, Jing going towards the back line. So much damage towards the Princess Frost, but he manages to stay alive for the moment.
Oh, stays for the moment, but he's going to be down. Ashing is going to be the first to fall. ABH will get yet another kill, rack him up. And it looks like Mithy will go into Unbridled Ferali form. He's going to just kind of create the path. They've already got all of the T3s. It is a matter of time. But it looks like Loops have made the call. They're going to regroup and come back to fight yet another day.
3 to 6 in terms of score. It is still possible for Impunity to come back from this game. The lead is not insurmountable. It's about 8,000 difference at the moment. But without those tier 3s, it also means the creep waves are constantly being pushed out to the front of your base, and you're not going to extend on that lead without making a huge team fight happening anytime soon.
Sherry here, 14.1k net worth, and then 13.6 by ABH. Oh my gosh, those guys are literally the 1%.
But I think Brazil's gonna like win this whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a way.
That's all down to just the tempo that Loops had for the entire game. They had what, 6 kills in total. Only two of them were at the 10-minute mark, if I remember correctly. But they've set themselves in a position where they can really take these fights. And Impunity still trying to catch up, still trying to play the macro game against Sucker players. Oh, what is this? What is this rapper?
Chasing out Xiaolin. He's going to be chased. The meteor kill knocks him up. But oh, Tempest needs to be careful. He's going to be focused down. He's going to be the first to fall. But the base is wide open. Nice play by Ashe. Trying to slow it down, but the base is going to be taken out, and Luke will just take him out.
They will take game 2.
Clean game here for Loops. Again, another one of those games where you really can't find any fault in Loops' gameplay. It's like they played standard, they played, how you expect it to
I think
play
both
at this
best
highest
of
level,
threes will
and
be.
somehow they are making it easy.
I think it's both gonna be
is that they need to figure out ways to end the
Brazil.
game 5 minutes.
I mean, both games will be best of.
I think that they were
both games
full
will win
control, they were
3-0.
completely dominant, but it's one of those things where you gotta close it out. I mean, don't get me wrong. All jokes aside, I really have zero fault or things that I can kind of fix in this Loops,
before
offense, so to speak, because they were just like controlling the game. They were very strong.
Practice playing in my new tablet.
Yeah, like it is, you know, their potential last game to qualify for, if they want to qualify for the round of 4. So you can't fault the team for really playing it safe, just dotting their I's and crossing their T's to make sure they make it there.
Yeah, make sure that they do. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Just secure the win. Don't do anything silly.
Yep.
Again, just you know, discipline game, right? Discipline Honor of Kings. Just make sure that you just choke them out when you need to. You know, again, find those gaps when they do make those mistakes. And Impunity was made some in the very end. But again, they just had full control. This is one of those games where they're gonna have to look back on and be like, oh my gosh, how do we deal with this Loops pressure? Like from early game to throughout, I think we'll see this in the gold graph. It was just very difficult for Impunity to get anything going.
Yeah, their jungle was just shut down from the get-go. Kaiser without farm doesn't really do a lot, so maybe not such a farm-dependent jungle. Something that can roam early, something that can get things done around the map. But let's take a look at the final item progressions here for all these players and Loops. What an absolutely scary Lady Sun there. Sage's Sanctuary, you got to add to Torment, basically everything you need to end the game and then some on that Lady Sun.
Yeah, and, I mean, kill-wise, like it's one of those things where, hey, we're trying to play better, so we just die less, right? And Impunity was trying to limit that as much as possible. But the macro game from Loops, the control, and just being able to, take the objectives is just really where Loops shines, right? They understand how to play the objective game as opposed to just the, go in and kill everybody game, which some other, players in my ranked games will play.
Yeah, but Loops just very surgical aggression. They were able to just continue on the pressure. You see a lot of teams that do that play aggressive at the start, but then fall off towards the end. But Loops did it time and time again throughout nearly every point of the game, and Impunity just had no answer in their lineup to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at this, I mean, look, Black, very tanky, taking the most on the team, which was to be expected, but he wasn't able to do as much damage in return. He was very reactive and kind of had to build up defensively, and I think that it's more on the lines of Impunity's draft, right? Forcing Black to play like this defensive tank when no one else can do it, it's kind of limiting what Black can do, which, he wants to be able to do some damage and get into the heart of the enemy team, but if you're just taking all the shots, it's going to be a tough time for him.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be a game plan issue here for Impunity. They might have come into the draft thinking that the Marco Polo and the Charlotte will be the main damage dealers, so Black just needs to be tankier, but Shaolin isn't able to really deal with the likes of the Jing and the Charlotte, and you just don't have enough everywhere else. You look at the damage split, it's just everyone wasn't really doing huge damage at all.
And speaking of the gold graph, went directly in favor of Loops. I mean, just start to finish, just closed out the game. Just very strong, very well-disciplined team, just closing it out, right? I think if we're going to go back to that draft, though, I think Impunity really lacked any sort of control, right? The Jing was just a menace. ABH, I think he was definitely my MVP going into this one because just about how much pressure he put, and he was so mobile. Like they could not control him, they could not get to him, and Elaine on top of them. It was just way too much for Impunity to deal with.
Wait, oh my god, Audrey. Oh my god, Audrey, namatay ako kasi binasa ko yung comment mo. Ano ba yan?
We go to Plank 103, not the most impressive scoreline, but hey, we know that the Lady Zen is just more than kills. It's the team fight utility.
Kasalanan mo ang lahat.
It's the long range pokes that makes this hero the #1 pick in season 2.
Boo is all I can say. I disagree with his MVP. I think it should have been ABH on the Jing. There was more impact throughout, But we'll see the replay, and then we'll make another decision on that one. But ABH, look at this one. He's dodging around, just going from image to image, and it looks like Black is like, I don't know how to deal with this. I'm taking a lot of damage. And they got 0 kills out of that rotation. So it's a time wasted. It was, and they got nothing out of this. ABH, 1 versus 3, I don't care. I'm going to get first blood. And he does die in the end, but Xiaolin gets him with that Fever Barrage. But still, it's one of those things where look at how much pressure he's put on. Xiaolin is not free farming because of that.
Yeah, it is just too much for them to really deal with the constant pressure, the diving. You know, you've got the Zhang Fei, you've got the Jing. They can go in and out really quickly.
Na-inspire ako eh. Sabi kong galing
From the
nila.
Jing
Parang
is
kaya ko din
absolutely
yun.
huge. Huge Yabin. Sorry,
Uy, Audrey,
ABH
nod
did
ka later.
fall
Maglalaro
once,
kami sa, ng ano.
but ultimately,
Maglalaro kami
at this
ng...
point in time, they were
Sugurin mo, pre!
they're still in a really tough situation just because of how the lanes
Shit,
are
I'm dead
pushed out
again,
and
man.
handled, and
They're so good.
never giving up
Audrey,
any
nod ka
opportunities.
mag-chain together kami later nila,
They've
Charles.
gotten, and it's paying off so far. 2-0 for them in the round of 8.
2-0, and they're looking very
Oh
strong.
my god, all I do is die.
This is a situation where look at Xiaolin completely on the wrong side, and the rest of Loops is like, okay, we'll let Tempest die, and then we'll just take the base. Like the base is wide open, and the rest of Impunity are like, oh crap, our base, we forgot about him. We gotta go back and we gotta defend, and just not quick enough. So Tempest doing his job, even of pulling out the enemy team. Just again, everybody understanding what they need.
Yeah, great showing there for the Brazilian side. I mean, I wouldn't say I counted them out, but I thought this would be a much closer series between Impunity and the side of Loops. But I mean, Loops definitely showing us why they are the second best team from Brazil. Sorry, one of the best teams from Brazil, in fact. In this current tournament, and they are looking like they're in a good spot to move on to the top 4.
Yeah, it's about the fundamentals of getting themselves into those situations where how to play with a lead, right?
Hi.
And if you think
I'm
that
just
you're
waiting
good
for the
enough to
next
take
one.
on Loop, you think you can beat out Impunity, try your luck. Go to the Open Series.
Oh my
of course,
lord,
this
they're
is going to
so
be the second
strong.
split. Registration starts from July 8th to the 19th. All you need to do is register in the Honor of Kings app. So get your team, get your 4 of your other buddies to sign up. You think you're better than these guys? You think you can take them down? Prove it. Get yourself into that split too.
Yeah, and you know, it might be the gateway to an upcoming budding career for yourself in the Honor of Kings esports circuit. I mean, that's how All Gamers Global made it here to the Season 2 Invitational. They won the Open Series, and eyeballs are on them. But speaking of winning, I mean, is Loops 1 game away. They are 1 game away from almost doubling their prize pool won so far. And you know, some teams they tend to. This is where they start crumbling.
Yeah, it's tough. When you're in a hole, this comes back to the coaching, right? It's just calming people down. It's like, you know, if you look at professional sports today, like basketball, they can come down 0-3 or whatever in like those finals, right? It's because of the fact that they're just like, hey, we gotta like start over. We have the resolve. We've been there before. Yeah, we've lost games, but it's not over till it's over. And Impunity really need to have that same mindset of getting themselves to just like shake it off. Yes.
Ala! Demonyo!
The play style. Okay, a lot of other things were not great, but let's start from scratch right here and just get ourselves into a 0-0 matchup and just look at it as like best of ones, just as we move forward.
Yep. Gotta reset. Gotta put one foot ahead of the other. Take one match at a time is definitely the mindset they need to have at this point, because one final draft might decide how long can they stay in this tournament.
Pag
and
kailangan
they just gotta
sa Facebook.
really pull out all the stops at this point. Loops.
Guys, if you
Draft
just
of
got
game number
here,
3
we're
will
gonna
ban out
be
the Halo once
playing
again.
chain together
On
later.
Impunity, respect ban on ABH's Jing,
Twitch,
as well as on Luna.
don't forget
And the ladies then will not see
to
the battlefield in game number 3.
watch tonight,
Okay,
10
for the
p.m.
record, the knockout stage is going to go all the way to Sunday. So we have plenty more games ahead of ourselves, assuming that you do survive, right? That's the biggest thing. You do not want to go home. This is one of those things where you want to continue. The prize pool is very large, and you want to get your fair shake of it, and you need to survive. Impunity right now, with their backs on the wall, need to figure out some way to solve this puzzle that Loops has been throwing at them, and it has not been an easy situation for Impunity. They need a much better draft here.
They've been
nakwenta niya na lahat,
back against
as
the
in lahat.
walls for both the first 2 games, and you know, this is their one last shot to come up with something that can give them a fighting chance. But look at Loop's draft. They've got the Arlie, they've got the Mai. So much aggression.
Sino si Fat Cat?
A lot of mobility, a lot of potential burst. To be honest, I think Impunity needs ways to control. They don't have the lockdown that they need. And again, Elaine is one of those ones where you probably want more lockdown on him. So there are definitely some holes in Impunity's lineup. They need to shore them up and to deal with these somewhat high mobile, high damaging heroes that Loops has.
Absolutely. It's they need something that in basketball terms.
Ano yung kinuwento? Message mo ako. Sabihin kita kung lahat na yun.
To slow down the aggression, to punish the aggression some way or the other. And what options are
Thanks,
there?
Mama. Thank you.
Zhang Fei is great to stop them.
I think this is gonna be a 3-0, guys.
Sorry, he does great slowing them down, but he doesn't really fully stop them. So another big team fight hero, maybe like a Zhou Yu, something that punishes them for running in, could be what they're looking for.
Yeah, they're gonna have to figure out, like, their initiations haven't been great. They've been very reactive to what Loops has been doing. I mean, basically, you know, in simple terms, I think that the initiator, when they take that fight, they will have an advantage, right? People on the enemy team will not be in the right position, all these things. But you know, as the initiator, if you're like, hey, we're gonna go, then everybody's going together, then you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be a much better initiation, so you have that advantage.
Yeah, they need something to go along those lines here for Impunity. Whether it is to have a good counter or just a better initiation. So
your favorite hero. Just got selected. Dune.
I mean, no, the numbers don't lie. Dunn has had a spectrum of successes. He's looked really great, and also looked really terrible in some games. But I think in this draft alone, it does fit into what Loops is trying to do. Fast tempo, fast pace. You got a jungle which provides stuns,
That's
who doesn't
crazy.
need a lot of farm, and can really
I think it's gonna be a
increase the tempo of your
0-3,
team. So
dude.
Dunn, in that sort of
0-3
pigeonhole,
na to.
there's no other hero like Dunn.
Sure na
But
to.
unfortunately, that's the only thing he's really good at. So if
Kailan
Loops is
nangyari
drafting
yung
him
kay
for
Fat
that
Cat?
specific purpose, then
Grabe,
that's
lakas
the
naman ng
perfect hero for
kalaban,
jungle.
pre. Hello?
Alright.
Patayin na naman ako. Ano to?
I
Bakit ang lakas ng kalaban
Dune
mo sa
has done
bronze?
alright in terms of win rate. I think it's close to like a 53% or something. So, I mean, I can see why there's a little bit of disbelief in him and the potential of it. But I'm looking at this draft now, right? Where they finished off Impunity with Menki and Angela. Angela, in my
Wala ka
opinion,
palang
this
alam,
is the
Audrey eh.
going up against that lineup from Loops. You're gonna get blown up by
Pero ba
my
ganun?
Arlie,
Binabastos
and
ka?
Elaine is gonna jump on
Are
you
you
with
okay
it
pa?
every
Oo,
single
nag-walk
death
ako
at
ngayon.
sunset.
Ang lakas ng kalaban, hindi ko
Angela's
maintindihan.
positioning needs to be flawless.
Bronze lang naman
Is
to.
gonna be playing scared almost the entire game. And to be honest, Angela should probably go back to the library.
I
guess one reason why they pick up the Angela here and not like the Princess Frost or something is that Angela can really punish divers.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm playing Hawk. Was like it's not. I mean, the game hasn't started yet.
Blazing
So.
Barrage. If
You know,
he's,
I'm just
if she's
chilling.
able to land that skill, that is just such a huge tempo stopper for anyone trying to dive in. So Angela gets a couple
Patayin
of kills
ako
early,
pag
then
ako
you
nagkwento.
really see that hero start to snowball.
Fuck, ang
She's
daming
one of those
kalaban.
heroes that
Hello?
really
Patayin na naman
snowballs
ako dito.
early if she
Wala
gets a couple of
talaga.
kills.
Ganun talaga
So
eh.
Impunity on their last legs of this tournament.
KS ang
The last time
putik!
we see them in season 2, or will
KS!
they enable us to go?
Ang daming
to
KS
Infinity?
dito, guys. Nakakainis.
Well, you are very positive and Pollyanna, I would say, on the Angela pick. I'm definitely more negative. I think you're going to have a hard time. I think X-Hero, everything is on his shoulders, right? If he's able to get those early kills to kind of get himself started, because if not, he's going to be chased and it's going to be a rough time. As I say this, Wind Slash knocks up Black. He's getting focused in. He can't get away. He's going to give up first blood, and Sherry will take this one. And already, it's looking in the favor of Loops as they take the Azure Gold.
I don't even know what they call it right now. Silver lining is that they're trying to steal the Sage Golem away. It does go towards the Zhang Fei, which in the grand scheme of things, nothing is basically achieved there for the side of Impunity. But hey, they got something out of that. but you know, Dunn already has the blue buff, so he's not gonna missing that.
Gago, napatay ako ng
I mean, it's
bot,
already been
ng
stolen or
minion.
whatever, so
Anak
I
ng
think they'll be
pucha,
happily
tigil ko na
take
to.
it. But you got to take something back, and Impunity were able to do this. But again, that entire
Ala
shift
ka.
off with the first blood and the steal, it's already a 1K net worth lead for Loops. So it's just a matter of time. Again, Impunity need to figure out ways to dig themselves out of this hole.
Yeah, I mean, that was just such a good game plan to start off with. Clear the mid wave with 3 heroes, rotate 4 heroes to the blue buff, and just make Menki's life an absolute nightmare. And we see here Frenzy,
Ano na?
not
Wait,
a
sabi
very
mo iwan sa guard
common,
sa...
not a very
nasa ano,
common
iwan sa
skill that we see
guard
people
kasi
pick up,
sarado
but
na
it's
yung
perfect
lobby,
there
yung
for
guard
Arlie.
nasa paakyat
Speaking of
ng
Arlie, he's in trouble, a bit too deep, taking a lot of damage from the tower, will fall, but not before he gets a kill on towards,
Grabe, wala ako ambag yung
not
ambag sa
towards
team ko.
our Sing. So 1-for-1 trade so far. Can he
Never
get
mind, hindi hirap
something
maglaro
else
sa
a little bit
tablet.
more?
Nice
Ang
trade,
laki.
ABH in trouble. Can he get out?
Natalo
No, he
lang naman
cannot.
ako dito
That
kasi
was
sa
the start
tablet
that we
ako naglalaro
wanted
kasi sa
Angela
bola
to
ako
have.
naglalaro
That
pa
Angela
naman.
needed to have is an early
hirap ko na maglaro sa
snowball,
tablet.
and that's a
Ay,
great
naku.
start. Getting a kill on towards ABH, and Impunity is able to strike back and
Ay,
close
naku.
things out in terms of network.
Okay, Loops right now,
Wow,
I
grabe.
feel like they're playing a little
Yung
unconventional.
teammates
Okay,
ko.
Kank here, forcing the issue, gets the knockback, and
Ay,
Sherry
naku,
comes
guns.
in at the right time. Wow. Kank had the bad signal up, and you know, Sherry comes in at the right time for this one, and the Death at Sunset. Tempest somehow survives under the tower, and it looks like the Scorching Barrage
Wala,
just
panalo na
barely
kami. Ang bilis
not
naman ako
able to get
nakapatay. Oo nga, 5 PM sarado na yung lobby.
Barely surviving through all of that. Angela still doesn't
Oh,
really
well, at
feel
least
too bad,
panalo.
you know, just of not getting that kill. Was able to clear out the waves and push out as well. But here we take a look again. Kank really setting things up for the rotations coming in here for Zere, and he picks her the fruits of her labor, and propels Arlie to the mid game in a much stronger position.
What a great play for them. I mean, Loops. It's just like Kank is like sets it up. Sherry already behind because he died, and is like, oh, okay, I'll give you this free food. Come and take it. And the timing on that could not have been more impeccable.
Who's
So
winning?
Loops
Oh,
again,
it's
just
hard to
understanding
tell
how
who's
to
winning.
play this one. It's a 2 versus 2 in the enemy jungle. ABH, the Dream Roam from Black, just to kind of get in under the tower of the T1, but. Looks like there's going to be a side rotation. X0 looking for that second pickoff to kind of give him that head start that you were talking about, that good lead that you're talking about. But still, he's a little bit behind in terms of the network.
2,000 net worth. He needs around 6,000 to really start pushing people down with the Staff of Reprobation. But things are still pretty even in terms of the net worth on both sides. Dunn has to get out of there. And not going to be an issue. Not a lot of CCs from the side of Impunity at the moment. And the first
3-0 to?
spawn. Oops, trying to secure it, but they do have to play against 2 smites on the side of Impunity.
Grabe.
Oh,
lahat
nice.
sila nasa
Unruly
mid.
Blade connects, but the Dream Roam gets him out of there. Black is back to safety. Tyrant is about half life. He knocks up 2, and Sherry just steps away, and ABH will take the Tyrant, gets the smite. He's got the fastest fingers. The Meteor kill, not going to hit anybody. He's going to be knocked up, and the Enlightenment blows him up, and Tempest will take out
Ay,
Black.
sobra na lang.
And it looks like Black is the
tapusin
only
agad,
one to have fallen.
Please po.
Magumi as well as
3-0
Shaolin
na, huwag yun lang.
was pretty low,
Huwag
but
yun
they
lang
weren't able to
pasapabol
dive
ng
any
kalaban.
deeper behind the tower.
Utang na
So
loob.
Impunity has to be grateful that they didn't lose anymore. That would have caused probably an uncontrollable snowball there for the side of Loops, but still not a position they want to find themselves in. 1.5k down in 5 minutes in, and Loops still seems to have their number in terms of these movements across the map.
Yeah, they definitely have their number. They're already starting to slowly whittle away at them as they've kind of grown this net worth lead. And look at the map, right? Impunity right now playing scared. They're staying on their side of the river, realizing that, you know, Loops could be anywhere. They could be in the bush. They could be right behind me. I don't even know. Like, they're just everywhere, and they're playing scared, and you see it in their movements.
Absolutely. It's been... This is what we're talking about in game number 1, is the mistakes of your first game
wala
is
nang
making you
next
doubt
match.
yourself
Last na
in the
to.
last game potentially. So if you're not able to reset from that, then it might affect your decision making in the games and really cause issues for you. But Shaolin, if you get the bottom tier 1 tower, the cheeky play that you can do with some of the marksman heroes to really just poke the tower until it falls. But still keeps Impunity here in the game. Here comes the Maisha Nui trying to go for a kill. Angela pops the ultimate to try to play a bit more defensively. Oh, but the knockback by Dharma.
Asing gets him, finds Sherry, he's gonna be down. He's gonna look to back off, so the Unbridled Outburst is gonna be used. The Unruly Blade keeps ABH alive, and they do get that pick off, and that's a pretty big win for Impunity as they got Sherry down for another 10 seconds.
Yeah. Arlie cannot be initiated on if she hasn't set up the parasol, if he's just not very survivable if it's caught out like that. So gotta look out a little bit more for the positioning, but all in all, not the worst things that happen this early on. It's not gonna amount to too much. It's just the Vanguard, the Overlord Vanguard falling towards the side of Infinity, which allows Infinity to cut down the lead slightly, but Loop's still in the driver's seats for now.
Still in the driver's seat, and it's just more of like the objectives and the towers that have been taken out by Loops, right? They've just kind of forced the issue of playing, again, Impunity just sticking far behind. They're trying to make some plays. They are getting some kills. They're getting themselves back into this. But again, it's more of Loops just playing very strategic.
Yep, they absolutely have. They've been, their aggression has been calculated, and they've been able to stop crucial heroes from getting the far. But here, bottom lane.
Oh, meteor kill. He's just gonna go right for this Death at Sunset all the way in the bottom lane. Kank just trying to stay alive, but X0 Blazing Brilliance, that's gonna be aborted. The Dream Rope is not gonna hit him. Xiaolin is down for the count already. Megumi runs over the wall, and it looks like X0 on the run as well. And ABH all the way in the front. He wants more. He finds Megumi. He's going to go for this one. Kank actually finds Black as well. The Dream Bubble pushing him out. But Sherry will take that mid T1, and they've capitalized off of that kill.
Yeah, dan pero
They really split up the fights. Everybody was kind of in a small skirmish, and a lane absolutely just feasted on Xiaolin, who cannot get away after using up the flash. So getting the mid tier 1 tower absolutely huge as well for the side of Loops to be able to control their enemy's jungle. And with the bottom, with the Tyrant spawning in a few more seconds, everybody needs to go back and regen to be in a good position for the next up fight.
The next one's going to be pretty huge. I mean, if we're looking at this one, the replay of what happened, nice meteor kill, knocking him up. They go in for this one. Tempest uses the Death at Sunset, keeping himself alive. And it looks like he's chasing after, gets another beautiful meteor kill, ensures that he gets Xiaolin, which is the biggest win for all of that. And then now they're trying to look to start this Tyrant here.
Mag-live kami later sa Twitch ng 10 PM po. Mag po kayo, maglaro po kami ng chain together.
Asing is in trouble. He did have to use the flash to get out of there. Oh,
the Unruly Blade connects. Dream Realm, just backs off. Loops are going to just back off, and they're going to look to take a free Tyrant. They push them away. They forced Impunity back, and Impunity, all they can do is just cry home and just, watch as the Tyrant gets taken here.
Again, another good engagement. They didn't get any kills there for the side of Loops, but they were able to push them back, secure the Tyrant. Now they can regen and really defend this Shadow, this
Enlightenment! Asing gives him the truth, throws it down, blows him up. Sherry was like, what just happened?
Yeah, these are the kind of stops that, Impunity needs to do to try and get themselves back in the game. But meanwhile, in the bottom lane, it's going to be the lane pushing all the way down to the tier 2 tower. It will fall. Asing trying to do the same in towards the top, but that's just a tier 1. That also means he's not going to be there for the fight that's about to happen towards the mid lane, unless he rotates, starts rotating in.
Dream Roam right onto Kank. Kank dashes away. Hits Megumi. Tries to go for the Forbidden Domain. The Unbridled Outburst is going to be used to just zone them away. The Death at Sunset. He's going to commit for this one. He goes in. He might have gone too deep. He's got the Death at Sunset. He gets himself out. The meteor kill, but he's going to be forced, and he gets killed. Asing will take him down and ensures that he gets it. This monk is scary and violent. The Blazing Brilliance, more zoning him away, and it looks like Impunity are going to back off here. They might take the Tyrant. No, Megumi just dashes up the wall.
Arlie did so much damage, but she wasn't able to fully deal with the damage, just afraid of dying at that point. Impunity though, backed off after that fight, knowing that their members weren't that healthy. They didn't have any heals compared to the Leah. They might be able to get it. No, ABH will be able to secure the last hit, and the Menki will have to back off. Oh, Asing once again!
Another pickoff play. He's had some decent plays. He's gotten some pickoffs. I mean, he throws it out, and the damage can be on point. But ABH now going in for this one. Asing taking it to the house and taking out ABH. Shaolin, excuse me. Asing will fall. Sherry gets the outplay. He did have the list step, so he did dodge that one. Shaolin is going to be killed, and Black now being focused, and Tempest will take out the cutest hero on the map.
Tapos na ba? Hindi,
Definitely
last
overstayed their
game.
welcome a little bit.
Hopefully
there
last
for the
game.
side
If
of-
manalo LPS.
There was no more
Paano
objective.
nanalo naman
At that
sila
point,
so far?
you know that the lane
Based on
is
how I see
respawning,
it.
is coming back towards the fight, and that's
sila
set
naman
up
ang
Tempest
mananalo.
for a huge double kill.
They're outside view. They stepped on my PC.
Brings the lead
So
back to
stream
2,000
ended
here for the
earlier.
side of Loops. Also,
This is the
Asing
second
almost was the
watch
savior
party
of
that, like,
engagement again,
During
but,
my previous watch party,
the
Nugget
early
turned off my
Zeri
PC.
was
Now
just
Loki
able to
turned off my
survive with
PC.
the skin
So
of
now
his-
they're out of
his
the
teeth,
room.
and was just able to get that shutdown on towards Asing.
Hindi yan.
I feel like if
Pag
Fury
nag-BO5,
were to be like,
pag
hey, we
natalo
need to
dito
focus on
yung
this Sherry,
loops,
or we need to
mawawalan ako ng
focus on
kuryente.
this X-Hero, they would have a much better time. Right now, it seems like there's a lot of isolated fights, and yeah, Asing is able to make a couple plays and supposed to get some some pickoffs,
Napatayin niyo na silang
but
lahat!
it will really help them because they're
Kaya
like,
niya
okay, we have the full lockdown.
Ala,
We're able to
sumugod
do this
mag-isa.
as opposed to being spread throughout. It makes it a very difficult team fight.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, they just need to focus
yun?
fire on the
Pati
same
sila
target,
naglalaban?
because that will free up your heroes much easier. That means that it will be a 2 versus 1 or 2 versus 2 situation, and with how Asing has been playing, it's been really, really crisp.
Kaya yan,
Oh,
guys!
late.
Oh, nice one!
Megumi, he had the most
7-9.
awkward, dare I say, bad the umbrella outburst, but the
Nice.
death row Black, he's going to be in a bad spot as well. He's going to be picked off. All 5 members of Loops still alive, just waiting for the next
Hi,
minion
Risky.
wave. It's looking to crash here. They're just starting to celebrate. They're starting to push it across. The Unruly Blade tries to go in for this one. He does end up getting killed. Kank is going to be down, and it looks like ABH getting a little bit close. Tempest is getting focused in. He's being kited. He does get the meteor kill, but Tempest somehow out healing it. He gets picked off, and X-Hero will take this one. It's a 2 for 2, and Loops has to go back home limping.
Yeah, that probably wasn't the best call. Half your heroes were down in HP. Dolia wasn't able to provide the heals in time, and the creep wave was just dealt very well there by the Angela. So, on hindsight, not the best fights to take. I understand that Loops, tried to force the issue to go for the win at that point, but sometimes you just have to dial it back a little bit.
I
You're up
think this is
5,000,
almost
just a
it.
great team fight. Regen, go for the next one with full health on everybody, and you're probably gonna win.
Yeah, and this is a little bit more, I would say, impatience from the Loop side,
Yeah.
right? They have the bottom lane completely. Ooh, ABH gets blown up. Oh, Ashe going for this one.
Oh,
he does have the
shit.
enlightenment, does end up doing the damage, and Kank is going to be killed as well. And Shaolin is starting to turn it up. He's starting to have that damage, but the death at Sunset, he's looking to go for X-Hero. Is he able to kill him? He's continuing to focus on him. X-Hero does go down.
my
They're turning
gosh.
this around. The flashback, Shaolin is down. Zeri's going to take that one. He's going to fall in return. And so it's going to be a 3 for 3. They're continuing. Black is just looking to
my
just stand
God.
1 versus 2, while his friend Megumi is just like, I'll just push the wave and recall because there's not much else I can do, my friend.
Zhang Fei had a look of that situation. He was like, "All right, I'm out of here." Not much you could really do, like you said. There's not really. He can provide some shields, but ultimately, then it would be a case of 2 heroes dying instead of 1. So, in the grand scheme of things, probably the best call was just to recall and just dissuade them from any further pushes. But Loops somehow managing to turn that fight around. They lost 2 heroes at the start of the fight, but the main damage dealers, which are the Arlie as well as Tempest, did not fall, and they were the 2 that were able to provide most of the damage for the cleanup.
All right, with friends like Megumi, who needs enemies, right? No, I'm just kidding. He saved himself. Probably the smarter play. It was going to be very difficult for Black to get on out of this one. But again, Luke's forcing it out. I think continuing my point from earlier is that last time their gameplay might have been a little bit more boring, right? In the sense that they were very just like suffocating. They were forcing it out, taking away space. But Loops felt like they were a little impatient. They forced the bottom T3 and they got punished for it.
Yep, absolutely. Like, that was definitely an unnecessary move in my book. Trying to end the game right there. And then if everyone was full HP, I would understand it, but everyone would. Half the members, especially your front lines, ABH was like sitting around with 25% of his health.
Joking.
And that means nobody's going to be able to frontline for you. Then that means D'Angela is going to be able to land skills on crucial heroes. But thankfully for Loops, it doesn't seem like that's stopped them so far. It slowed them down for sure, but they're still able to take this fight. Top tier 3 tower dropping really quickly from the damage of the early. That leaves only the mid lane.
Asing on the bridal outburst, just zoning them away, creating a little bit of space, but the top T3 is already taken out. They've taken the minion wave as well, and Impunity live to see at least the next wave.
Elaine was a bit spread out from the rest of his team, tried to go for a fight against 2 heroes, but just took too much damage. And unless he gets healed up, I don't think that Loops is trying to look for a fight here. Oh, Arlene with the damage from Arlene. Absolutely insane damage. Yep. And here, Venki trying to back away. Oh, Dharma! Asing gets a kill onto a Zeri. That's exactly what they need. But he pays with his life. Tempest is just too strong at the moment. Here, Deer and Jay are taking a lot of damage. It's D'Angela that was taking a lot of damage from the Mai, but 1-for-1 trade so far. I mean, Asing has been holding things down here for Impunity so far, but is it too late?
Yeah, I mean, 30 seconds, that's almost like an eternity at this stage. I mean, it's 17 minutes in. Luke's still figuring out ways to just take all the objectives. His net worth lead, yeah, it's only 4K. I mean, kind of getting to the point where, you know, everybody's kind of six-slotted at this point, so not the worst thing in the world, but again, Impunity need to figure out some way to get some sort of pick-off. Turn a fight from a 5-5 or to a 5-4, you had that advantage, and this Overlord's going to be pretty massive in terms of just how things are gone. Megumi gets run at, he's going to be knocked up, they've got fights throughout. The Blazing Brilliance does have the damage, and Tempest gets bursted down, and that might have been that window of opportunity.
Hala. Muntik ako makatulog.
That's the second strongest hero on the side of Luke's
ano ba yan?
down. At this point, the Dun is mainly just as
Hala, first time ko muntik makatulog sa stream
and crowd control. He's the utility hero for now. They really need a lane to be the ones threatening the backlines, but this is a dangerous
Legit, never ako nakakatulog sa stream. First time talaga. Parang na split second na nanaginip na ako.
That gives Impunity a shot back in this game and in this series.
I mean, it's just all about opportunity.
Ayaw pa kasi panalo eh.
Have that
Ang tagal nung laban na
potential
to
get
ah,
back in
legit.
is a huge issue for Loops. Again, the last game a little bit more boring
Magkape
because
ka na,
there were no
mamaya na
opportunity.
yun.
They were playing
May
much
stream pa ako
cleaner.
later.
We're seeing a more impatient
ka na
Loops
dyan,
team
ina mo ka.
trying to just
Ka
force things out.
magpatalo dyan.
Yes, they have the advantage, and I'm sure that they were like, hey, we just wanted to try to close this out as soon as possible. But Impunity, this is the never say die attitude that they have. They're going to fight this one all the way to the end.
Yeah, and that's because of the situation they are in right now. They are potentially playing their last game of this tournament. So if they lose you, they're out, and that's why they are these risks. That's why they feel like they're hungry and they're playing more cleaner because their backs are against the wall. They have nothing to lose, and if you're making mistakes against someone like that, a team like that at this moment, you might be punished. Dharma going for the kill, burst it down!
And the combination, Kink is going to be killed. They do have this, the Death at Sunset. Tempest is trying to fight 1 versus 3. He gets the meteor kill onto Shaolin. He's trying to focus it out. That's life number 1. He's going to come back. Ashing is down. Death at Sunset one more time. Lands it, and Black goes down this time. And it looks like they've turned this around. Loops have found the opening, and Megumi's been killed. And Tempest will take the double kill. X-Hero now running for his life, trying to keep things alive. Slow it down. Give yourself a chance, as it's 30 more seconds for the rest of the team. Loops, on the other hand, they want to take this one. You talked about the impatience before. This is that opening. They're ahead of the minion wave. X-Hero is going to miss a couple times. The meteor kill knocks him up. The Blazing Brilliance one last time. X-Hero is down. And with that will be the game, and Loops will move on to the semifinals as they take
GG, guys.
Tempest, that play absolutely huge. Goes straight towards the backline, gets the kill on towards the J. Removes basically half the damage.
I have to get my dinner.
Had on the just demolishing the backline. Second keeps him alive.
Anong comeback? Tapos na oh, 3-0. Okay na ba? Pwede na end-stream. GG.
Sure, it got a bit messy at the end, but they still got it done.
Kasi namatay yung
they were
PC ko
doing it
kanina.
messy so they can make it
Pinatay ni
the
Lo.
most interesting game, right? We'll
GG,
give them a
guys.
chance. We'll let Impunity just have some fun in this. I mean, all jokes aside, we'll figure out what they were really thinking. I know Choo Choo's gonna have some questions for them as they go into the interview coming up. But in his second, it's gonna be one last shake,
fun.
sportsmanship
Yeah.
to Impunity. They played a great
Alright guys,
one.
don't forget to
It's
watch
gonna be a
me
great
on
series
Twitch
for them. But
10
again,
p.m.
let's
So
find
that's
out
an
what
hour
Choo
and a
Choo
half
has to say
away
for
from
the
now.
games.
We're gonna be playing Chain together with Razzie, Maggie, and Chares. So for now, I'm gonna eat dinner and see you later, 10 p.m. twitch.tv/Amara.
Live on stage
Bye.
here with your host for the entirety
Ay,
of the
check us,
event,
Han.
Choo
Check
Choo,
it.
and
Bye.
joining me here none other than our translator Andrew, alongside
guys.
with our
Oh my god, I look
with
so...
our winner of the last
I look
series
so
in the
stressed.
knockout stage, Loops from Brazil.
Bye.